Hi, thank you for joining me. This is Dr. Erica. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. My main channel, Erica Onigbola Farm D. In this video, I want you to stay tuned to the end of the video. This particular video is going to talk about chemicals, usually chemicals that we use or add to our foods, to our pharmaceutical drugs, our tablets, our capsules, for coloration, for identification, also for aesthetics. So, what I want to talk about is the law behind the new ordinance that's come out that has said that the CDC, Centers Drugs and Prevention, you can check on their website, has come up with an idea in 2027, 2028, that the removal of dye product, particularly the red 3, I want to think it's red 3. There's also a red 40, which is okay to continue, but red number 3 will be actually taken off the market for sure by 2027, 2028, January of those years. They're starting with food products first, and then they're going to move to the pharmaceutical industry. And because they're doing this, they want the general public to know it's been broadcast. It's actually on their website, and I found out last year about the new changes. So when you see these colors in over-the-counter medications like your liquids, your solutions that you may purchase, your gel caps, they will no longer have the dye of red 3. So be aware of that. It's said that this dye actually causes cancer. They found during the research process that the animal subjects that they were using during the research project developed cancer cells, not in humans, but in the research subject themselves. And when that was found out, they decided to do away with the red dye number 3. And supporting that, they have a law from 1954, 1955-ish, um, for the regulation of food dye and dye in general used in pharmaceuticals. Okay, I'll read this to you. I'm on the CDC website. It says 1950s under the representative Mr. James Delaney. So when you see the Delaney Clause that supports the removal and the regulation and the support of safety and efficacy, you're going to see Delaney Clause. And it's actually after 1950 under this representative. A series of laws addressing pesticides, food additives, and color additives gave the FDA much tighter control over the growing list of chemicals entering the food supply, which is putting, it says, on manufacturers to establish their safety, while tolerance could be established for many chemicals. A provision of the 1958 law, the Delaney Clause, banned any carcinogenic additive. Carcinogenic means cancer producing. And as pharmacists, we're taught that carcinogenic, teratogenic is very harmful. That means that during the research process, there was some cancer cells developed, and so that's why they are using the Delaney Clause in 2026, 2027 to remove future production or additive. So when you go to the pharmacy now, you will not see, as of 2027, 2028, you will not see dark colored medications like your, for example, your gel caps, your pseudoephedrine red gel caps, they're red in color now. You may not see that if the manufacturer is using that particular dye, red 3. But if you look on your box before purchasing, there will be a statement that says this item is dye free. I have purchased some medications here recently over the counter that do say dye free, or they may say clear, or they may say this product has been in compliance with the new law, clear free, dye free. So do be noticing the changes about your new purchasing of pharmaceutical products. Okay, so that was what I want to talk about in this video. I don't usually talk about the chemical makeup of medications because it's chemistry based, but this one is I think warrants me to give that information out to the general public. And again, it's on the cdc.org or fda.gov website where you can read up on this. You can just type in CDC food dye or CDC dye, DYE, and read up on it. It's a lot of history behind the regulations of pharmaceutical um, efficacy and safety, as well as the food industry as well. Because at one point in the 1940s, during Roosevelt's administration, we had to implement, our country had to implement safety in the industry of food and drugs because a lot of things were being mishandled, misbranded, contaminated, um, just unsanitary in a lot of the factories and food production. So I just wanted to raise that attention. And if you see that in the news, do know that it is true that the pharmacy or pharmaceutical industry is now going to change, if they haven't already, the amount of dye or the use of red dye number 3. Red dye number 40 is more prevalently used. And when you pick up a candy, or if you um, pick up a medication and you look at the small details or you look at the inactive ingredient, you're going to see dye color. It might be uh, dye yellow, or it could be dye red, or it might be dye blue or dye green. But you want to make sure always that you understand that these food colorings are not always healthy, and they have identified this red number 3 to be unhealthy. And we will be implementing that in the pharmacy. And talk with your pharmacist as well, get their opinion about it. I've had customers ask me about clear, do you have a clear of this type of medication? And I did inform them, as of January this year, 2026, a lot of medications have already transitioned, but permanently by January 2027, 2028, there will definitely be no use of the red dye number 3. So that's what I want to talk about. Glad you're able to join me. Like, share, subscribe. This is Dr. Onagbola signing off, and I hope to see you on my future videos. Take care. Bye bye.